Hello, and welcome to the Confidently You podcast with me, your host, Helen, owner and head coach of Fit Girl Club UK, amazing women's online health, fitness, lifestyle, just feeling awesome, and product of Confidently You, which is what I do. I make women feel more confident in their own skin. How are you? How's life? How have you been? My gosh, girls. Spring is here. Can we just take a moment to just appreciate it? Honestly, the older I get, as in like my way of life seems older. I love watching birds and appreciating them. I'm 39. Wow, I just absolutely love it. We're going for our morning walk with Una at 6:30 and all the bunnies are out in the field. The sun is just starting to rise. There's still a little frost on the ground, but then the dew is coming and it's just, and the birds are everywhere. I saw a kestrel or something the other day. I never actually know what they are. I haven't got to the point where I've got a book about it yet, or an app. That'll be the next thing, innit? You get an app out and you take a picture of a bird. We've got the pigeon family back in the bush just outside my window here. They were there last year. They had some children. We watched the children grow. Teenage pigeons look unusual, by the way, if you ever get a chance to witness one. I'll share it on my stories. I'm sure some of you will love that. If you don't, then just skip past it. And it's just glorious. I just love this time of year. Absolutely love it. Hope you all had a fantastic Easter. Hope you're not feeling guilty. Hope you indulged but didn't overdo it. Hope you felt in control without guilt. Hope you had some nice family time and just did all the things that you enjoy around Easter. I did the check-ins with my girls yesterday, so disclaimer about me, I never take bank holidays. For me, my working week just works a certain way. Monday is like the busiest day for me. It's the check-ins with my girls, it's priority. It can take me depends how much I faff around, but it takes me about 6, 7, 8 hours to do the check-ins. So if I didn't do that on a Monday, I'd just be doing it on Tuesday or something. So I sacrificed my bank holidays, something about being self-employed. I did go skiing the other week though, so don't feel sorry for me. And I promise you, I'm not making this up, all of my girls, all of them, every single one of them, enjoyed some chocolate or treat or whatever they wanted. One of the girls made homemade hot cross buns. What an absolute star baker she is. She sent me a picture that looked fantastic. I didn't get one though, that was a bit mean. I asked for a picture though. I'm joking. If you're listening to this, I'm joking. You don't have to give me one of your delicious looking hot cross buns. I can buy myself one if I want one, which I didn't this year. I haven't even had a hot cross bun. Anyway, so all of them had, I looked at the food diaries because I actually wanted to see that there was some chocolate in there or something they enjoy. Insert food you enjoy here. Because that is truly what creating a happier, healthier lifestyle is. It's not this part where we're in restriction, avoid, see no evil, hear no evil. It's also not in the part where you just overconsume and feel guilt and then you don't track and then you ghost me and you know, I've had this before with clients and then I don't hear from them again and then they come back in a few weeks saying, sorry, I spiraled. All my girls, and this is testament to me as well, like up my own flute, but I will be modest about it. It is testament to me. I've been doing this for 7 years. I put out the parameters. I'm like, the week before, I'm like, right, what's your plans for Easter? And they tell me, and I'm like, right, what are you going to enjoy? What do you really want? What do you feel like you're missing out on? What do you want to incorporate? What can you do? Then we backwards engineer it, because that's what good coaching does. It helps you plan for the future so that you feel it's all about feeling in control. That's all this is, girls. You want to feel in control, not out of control. And feeling in control isn't restriction. Avoiding everything. Imagine just saying no to everything and then just feeling like you're missing out. It's about having those moments that you enjoy. I've got a client that I spoke to yesterday. She said, I always ask, have you got any social events coming up? She says, yep, Sunday dinner. She told me where, and I went through the menu and went, now go put it in your tracker for next Sunday. This is a week on Sunday. The Sunday coming up now. Then backwards engineer for it. Put in your Sunday dinner. She doesn't go out very much. She's got kids. Go and enjoy that blooming Sunday dinner. I don't want you to be having the, chicken and veg or the salmon or whatever because it's lowest calorie. Go have the roast beef, right, with Yorkshire pudding and all the trimmings. Do you want a starter? Fine. I always say starter or pudding, one or the other. Let's not be greedy. No one needs starter, main and pudding, unless it's Christmas Day, by the way. Then you're allowed it. or your birthday if that's really what you really want. But pick one or the other, really. Let's be reasonable, because you always feel too full anyway to enjoy 3 courses, and enjoy it. And I mean, really enjoy it. Maybe actually some of you will just want starter and pudding. 2 starters and a pudding though. Do it properly. So she's put it in a tracker, and then for the week now she'll just take off like 50 to 100 calories a day, knowing that that's already planned in. And it just takes away that guilt, the decision fatigue, or, you know, oh, I've got that coming up, or the worry, or things like that. And it's just about, all it is pre-planning. You've all got really busy lives, you've all got a lot going on, you're probably looking after other people, whether you've got kids or you've got elderly parents, you've got a career, you've got so much going on. I take away that stress and I help you plan for you to make you be in the happiest and healthiest place you can be. So yeah, that was my little rant about spring and Easter. Not really a rant about spring, was it? Just more of a little chat about spring. I do love it. So this week's topic, I've got some notes. If you're watching this, you'll see me reading. I'll always be transparent. I've got some notes written down, but then you know me well. I'll be going off on my little tangents along the way. So this week I wanted to talk about what women over 35 actually need and what's complete nonsense. Now, if you're under 35, don't tune out. You can still listen in. Honestly, if I was in your position and under 35, well done for, you know, already trying to be healthier, happier, more confident. But these things still count. Exactly the same to you. The only difference is once you reach your 30s, mid-30s, the narrative starts to change, and especially, right, here's a rant incoming, especially on social media, you'll see certain people and coaches that will pick out, especially things for women after a certain age, that make them feel sad and down about themselves, so insecurities. If you notice this, by the way, girls, about a coach, if they're saying something like, hey, women over 40 in the menopause, I can fix your problem, if they're specifically hooking in on something that you think's affecting you, like an insecurity, red flag. Red flag, usually men as well. I have this real, it's not a pet hate, I used to think like maybe this, what was wrong with me, why do I not like these sorts of people? And I always do this, by the way, I'll question myself, like if I don't like something or someone, I'll be like, why? What about that don't I like? Sometimes it's because it's a mirror of me and what I used to be like, or it's a mirror of something I've done in the past and I don't like that part of me. So I don't like a certain personal trait or things. What was my example the other day with Martin? Oh, that was it. When someone's been like really loud and you're in like a public space, and I was just like, oh, I can't stand that. And then I stopped and asked myself why. And I was like, oh yeah, because I used to be like that. Promise you, that was me. So I'll always hold my hand up and say I'm accountable. But what I don't like is when I see a lot of men mansplaining on social media about women and hormones and women with PCOS and women your hormones and I can fix your problem. Right, half the time they're not even qualified to fix your problem and they've never been through it before. This is where like the nuance comes in as well. There's other coaches online that I really respect and appreciate. There's some big ones like Ben Carpenter. He's really good advocate for women, and Mitch Academy. He's really funny. He's in Australia, but he's really good advocate for women. But instead of coming on and going, women, here's why you feel women in menopause. This is what you should be doing. But they both come on and go, I have no idea how you feel because I will never be in that position. But as a man that is either with a woman who has experienced perimenopause or menopause or has coached women that have done this is what I see. And they come across in a different way because they explain and emphasize. They're I can't say that word. They're empathetic. So they're empathetic towards you and they're not trying to hook you in based on insecurity. It's the ones that are like, I'm the best coach for PCOS. You're not a doctor, just a PT that has found an in for people that have high levels of insecurity, and you can sell them a program. So if it sounds too good to be true, they're usually red flag girls, I promise you. I would really, really, really do a lot of research before trusting someone who says they're an expert in this field when they're not even medically qualified and they're not that gender. Whereas on the other side, if you're a man trying to sell to men about like testosterone and peptides and they talk about all this other stuff, great. I don't have any problem with that. It's the men trying to sell to women, and I see it a lot. Women over 40. Women over 40 with kids in perimenopause, and it's this like 30-year-old lad, and he's just found an in, and they just tell them that that's how you should market. Anyway, sorry, that was my rant, but I hope you enjoyed it, because now you might start looking at it differently. I'm not saying don't trust these people, but half the time, second guess it. Start second guessing some things, and you'll start seeing things, and you'll be like, oh, actually, this is a bit icky. What do they know? What do they know? Because I'll be honest, when it comes to PCOS is different. PCOS is it's a medical condition that does affect hormone fluctuations, and you do need specific diets for it. But if I was a woman with PCOS, I would be going to another woman with PCOS who has walked the walk and talked the talk and helped women like that. Or someone like not to sell my services, but someone like me who's helped women with PCOS in the past. I don't specialise in that, but I've helped women with PCOS and I understand hormonal fluctuations. I've coached many women with perimenopause, postmenopause, everything like that. But I don't call myself a perimenopause or menopause specialist because I'm not a doctor. I'm actually qualified in perimenopause and menopause. I'm also qualified in pre and postnatal, in case you want to know. But I just help women because I don't want to hook people in based on that reason. Just to be like, I don't want to play on the fact that your hormones are all over the spot, because they are. And everyone needs help with that. Anyway, I've gone on a massive tangent, but I'm coming back to my point now. So today I'm going to be talking about what women over 35 actually need and what's complete nonsense. Well, I've already told you about one thing that's nonsense. Men trying to sell you a fix to your hormones when they have not a clue. Not a clue. Not a clue. And they get you in, and then they just give you a meal plan and a training program that you can't stick to. And they tell you you're useless if you don't do it. Usually. So somewhere along, I'm very ranty today, aren't I? Gosh. Somewhere along the way, women over 35 were sold the idea that their bodies are suddenly broken. Fat loss is harder, metabolism is gone, and the only solution is to eat less, do more, and accept feeling absolutely knackered. And if you're a woman in your 40s or early 50s, you've probably got ageing parents that you need to look after, and maybe you've got children, or even worse in this situation, teenagers who are also going through hormonal changes. So as a woman who's probably entering the 40s now, going through perimenopause, please let's all just take a moment for our mums, because when we were teenagers, I was a brat, right? Little brat, little bratty Helen, party Helen, going out doing what she wants, party, work, smoke weed, everything, blah, 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 whatever. My poor mum was going through perimenopause at this time, so I'm sorry, Mum. This is a public apology to you for how much of a little devil I was, because that must have been awful for you at the time when you were struggling with your hormones and everything going on. So, public apology to my mother. I've made up for it though in the years, don't you worry, girls. I've made up for it. So I just want to clear up a few things. This is what this episode's about. It's clearing up, debunking some absolute nonsense online and telling you what you actually need as a woman over 35 or any age. Number one is, I think, the most important thing that everyone should be doing, no matter what size you are, no matter what size you want to be, whether you want to lose fat, when you want to put on fat, whether you want to stay the same, whether you want to, go shopping every weekend, whether you want to go out hiking every weekend, whether you want to just sit on the sofa. Whatever sort of life you want, number one is it is the number one thing, right? So listen up. Have you guessed what it is yet? Number one non-negotiable is some sort of strength training. And by strength training, I mean some sort of any resistance training. So I went to York College and did a seminar. What do we call it, a seminar? A speech for some of the staff members a few weeks ago. Absolutely in my element, girls. Absolutely loved it. And it just really reminded me why I got into this business, of why I wanted to help women, because I stood in front of a group of women and I was telling them about resistance training, explaining it to them, and I was so passionate when I was talking about it. And I was like, I want to do this more. I need to get this word out about feeling strong and what strength training is and what resistance training is. So by resistance training, I mean anything. That can be body weight. When I explained this to the ladies, I was like, I weigh 70 odd kilos. If I do some squats with my body, or a plank, or a long arm plank, or hold my body weight in a position, a wall sit, that is resistance to my body. That is adding resistance, which helps grow muscle. So this isn't a lie. This is actual true. This is actual true. This is the truth. Nothing but the truth. Post 35, our muscles do start to deteriorate, okay? Muscle starts to go atrophy, which means they start decreasing. But you can counteract this by resistance training. Resistance training means using some sort of resistance, weight, strength, whatever you want to call it, to help grow the muscle. As your muscle starts to deteriorate, it'll get smaller. Now, the problem with this is, and the biggest problem, and this is why it's number one, girls, is as your muscles get smaller, your bones get weaker, okay? I want you to really, really remember this. Your bones are getting weaker if you're not doing any sort of resistance training. There's a chemical reaction that happens to do with calcium and muscle growth that keeps your bones strong. So the muscle doesn't all necessarily keep your bones strong. It does, but there's also a reaction that helps keep your muscles growing, keeps your bones strong. So if you have, say, a picture of a bone of someone who hasn't strength trained, resistance trained post 35, and you see, I saw a video the other day. It was a really good example of it. And this can happen like at any age, and it happens especially at the minute if you're on like weight loss injections or anything where you're in a massive calorie deficit. You'll not only be losing fat, you are losing muscle as well. So unless you do something about it, you need to regrow that muscle. All of you. Whether you're weight loss, fat loss, whatever you're doing, we need to be growing that muscle. Because as your bones get weaker, instead of being like a milk block, so like a Milky Way bar, they're like a crunchy, okay? So do you see all these holes in your bones? And this is what happens to everyone, all of you. If you do not resistance train in some sort of way, this will happen to you. This is called osteoporosis. You think this is your problem when you're 70. No, this is your problem now. You are dealing with this problem now. If you do it in your 20s, amazing. The sooner you start, the better. But also, the great news is it's never too late. You can start and you can strengthen those bones. Once your bones have started getting holes in, they can build up. Osteopaths, do you remember at school? I used to remember this in biology. I actually really enjoyed biology at school. And there's things that go along your muscle, things that go along your bone and build up the bone again, or things that reduce the bone, like put holes in them. So the basic simple science of it is, girls, look more in depth into it, or listen to a science podcast or a fitness podcast that's literally really in depth about science if you want to know a bit more about it. But the basic science is, when you grow your muscle, it strengthens your bone through a chemical process. Now, how do you grow muscle? Like I said, resistance training, weight training, how do you do that? You go to a fitness class, you join a gym, you do home workouts, you do YouTube workouts, you come and work with me. An amazing coach will give you your specific workouts that will suit you. By growing the muscle, you need to basically tear down the muscle fibres. So drop and give me 20 squats now. If you've not done any squats in months, you will be sore tomorrow. Your legs will be sore. My legs are sore today because I ran for 19 miles on Saturday down some hills and my legs are sore from it. Your legs are sore because your muscle fibres, tiny fibres, should have had my hair down for this. Your muscles are made up of fibres, it's like your hair. And when you resistance train, you put micro tears in those muscle fibres. Then what happens is, you eat protein and those tears get rebuilt around. Think like a cylinder rebuild. Adding toilet roll to the toilet roll, not taking it away, you're adding it. So that's how your muscle grows. It's by adding these fibres. And the way you do that is by eating enough protein after you've trained. So enough protein in your daily diet. I've talked about protein before. Minimum 100 grams per person. Optimal is 1.8 grams to 2 grams per kilogram of weight that you are. Okay? So I'm about 70 kilos, so I should be having about 140 grams of protein a day. If you want to know how to get more protein in your diet, please go back and listen to one of my nutrition episodes that I've talked about getting more protein in your diet. Yes, please go back and just listen to all the episodes because I give lots of information for free that'll help you. So that's building up the muscle. Now, if you're doing a workout and the next day you can't sit on the toilet, you've probably gone too far. Or it's your first time, if you're a beginner, or if it's the first time you've done something in a while, or if like me, you have a week off to go skiing and don't use certain muscles, obviously skiing, and go back and do a full strength training session, even at lighter weights. I had sore hamstrings for 3 days last week. If you've torn your muscle fibres a bit too much, that's when you get really bad DOMS, delayed onset muscle soreness, okay? But it's fine, bit of rest, bit of recovery, plenty of walking, a bit of massage, stay hydrated, eat plenty of protein, eat some food, get some sleep, you'll survive. Don't give up after that, you've got to keep going, but maybe just go a bit easier, because it obviously means that your body can't quite handle that amount of resistance yet, and that's okay, because everyone is where they are. It doesn't matter whether you're lifting 2 kilograms or 52 kilograms, as long as it's good resistance for you. If it's too light and not enough reps, you're not actually going to grow any muscle. If it's too heavy and too many reps, or vice versa, and you're killing yourself once a week and absolutely dying and, not able to sit down the toilet or walk down the stairs, it's too much. Find your bit in the middle. So this isn't optional, girls. You need to be doing it. And if in 30 years' time, when you are 70 and you have a slip, trip or fall, which you won't if you resistance train or do any sort of training, do some balance training as well. Do some balance training. I'm stood on one leg now. Can you stand on one leg? Can you do it? Can you pick something up off the floor on one leg? I suffer with dizziness and vertigo, and I can still do that. I've got the balance, I've just not got the inner ear balance. So it preserves muscle, it helps with hormones. Do you know what it helps with as well? Mental health. If you're having a shit day, go and lift some weights. If you're angry, girls, if you're at the point where you're getting that perimenopausal rage and your partner, husband, wife, whoever, oh God, they're eating something and it's noisy and you're like, I'm going to kill you. I'm going to kill you. Me, just before I don't even have periods anymore, I've got coiling, but just before I'm due on, mine can just be eating and I'm like... Go lift some weights. It is a great release of anger as well. But we should be doing it, like I spoke about this before, 1, 2 or 3 times a week is optimal, but just start doing something because you need it. Everyone needs it and we should all be doing it. Why this trend to be skinny and smaller is back. You can be as least amount of body fat as you want to have, but just lift some muscle, lift some weights, grow some muscle. You won't get bulky. Do you know how hard it is to get bulky? It's so hard. You have to be doing a ridiculous amount, but you need some muscle. We need to be strong, girls. We need to be strong. So you don't need to be smaller, you need to get stronger. Right, number 2, after that big long rant of that one. Number 2 thing that every woman over 35, or every woman should be doing at any age, is eating enough food. Yes, really. So there's this trend at the minute, skinny trend, weight loss injections. I spoke to, actually, she's a new client, and she said, all my friends are on it, Helen. Everyone's doing it. And it just makes me so sad because we're just becoming smaller, more fragile, weaker. And it's all about fat loss and it's all about, just being skinny. It's the aesthetic. It's about how we look. But I understand if you have suffered with your weight all your life and you've given this magic pill. It's a magic pill, isn't it? It's an injection. Boom, it's magic. It just works. And it's provides you all the solutions that you've ever wanted. But you're not giving your body the nourishment it needs. You're not giving yourself energy. You're not giving yourself fuel. You're not looking after yourself. These really low and restrictive diets, which weight loss injections are for most people, because most people are going on the highest dose and eating 400 calories a day. I'd like to know what you did over Easter, though. You probably just didn't do your jabs. That's probably what... And that's a binge restrict diet, by the way. If you stopped your jabs last week so that you could enjoy Easter weekend and eat as much chocolate as you wanted, that's a binge. And that's unhealthy habits when it comes to food. We should be able to learn, and it does take time, it takes patience, it takes effort. You might need to go to therapy. That is probably the better cure for you than weight loss injections. Spend some money. Instead of that £300 a month on Manjaro, go get a therapist, which is cheaper than £300 a month. Mine was £50 a week to help you with that, because there's a reason why you're doing that to yourself. And then get a coach to teach you about nutrition, good nutrition, and who supports you and gives you stability and help and accountability and structure within your life. Chronic dieting equals fatigue, plateaus, hormonal stress. Your body's just like, what are you doing to me? Imagine like just running your car into the ground and just never putting fuel in it. I'm not even going to talk about fuel prices. Don't go there today, Helen. I'm not. Protein becomes less important. Your muscles go into atrophy, which we talked about before. So if you're tired, hungry and not losing fat, eating less isn't the answer. If you're constantly tired, you've got no energy, it's just struggling, you're just trying to restrict your diet even more, it's too restrictive. We need to find a healthy balance in between. We need to start eating better foods, better quality foods, stuff that gives us energy, nutrients, so we're not hungry, better food timings. Giving yourself, I was speaking to my client about this yesterday, and I was like, your body has rhythms, like your sleep. So my example, going to Australia, coming back, jet lag, always jet lag. Apart from this time, I fixed it. And the main point and reason why I fixed not having jet lag this time is because of when I ate. I ate meals at a certain time in accordance with the country I was going to, so my body's circadian rhythm and sleep rhythm could work around the new country. So the way this worked, it was really sad, and I was proper hungry at some points. But I said no to some meals on the plane, and I was sleeping when other people were awake and eating, and I was like, no, because, especially on the way back, that time then was UK bedtime, so I wouldn't normally eat then. Your body works on a circadian rhythm, on a rhythm. Your eating times, if you set eating times, and I don't mean starving yourself till midday, if you're absolutely ravenous in the morning because you're trying to cut calories. For me, I eat my breakfast most days around 8:30. My lunch is 12:30 till 1. My evening meal is 5:30 till 6:30. Every day. Every day. I don't snack, because I have a big enough breakfast that keeps me full to my lunchtime. But by lunchtime, I'm like getting hungry. I'm like, ooh, I could eat. If I'm going for a run, or if I'm going to the gym, or things rattle back, I will add in an extra like snack or banana or a bit of carbs before. But that's because I understand about fueling for my exercise, and that's what I need to do, because otherwise I'll get back and then my dinner's at lunch is a bit later and it sends you off kilter, and I like to have certain ways around it, but normally that's what I stick to, and my body knows that's when I'm going to be eating. It's like, oh, it's that time. Your body knows. You know a rhythm. If you have a set get up and wake up time, you will wake up before your alarm every morning. You will get tired when it's bedtime. Your body knows. And if you have a dog, right? How sad is your dog when the clocks change? And like, where's my dinner? And it's like, oh no, it's not dinner time yet. Clocks have changed. Dogs know. You know. I'm not calling you a dog, but we have circadian rhythms. So start having structure around meal timings. You don't have to be anal about it. It can be personalised to you. Not everyone's the same. But it'll help you eat more and fuel your body better. Recovery and sleep, number 3. This is where results actually happen. So if you have poor sleep, you'll have higher hunger, lower energy, you'll snack more, you'll have worse cravings. It's just worse for fat loss in general, right? But it's also worse for just feeling well and wanting to go out for a walk or wanting to do anything. Or when I don't sleep well, I procrastinate. Ugh. My procrastination is so high if I've not had a good night's sleep. It's awful. I'm scrolling on social media. I just feel so unproductive. I don't get stuff done. Just a poor night's sleep will do that to me. So if you have chronic lack of sleep or recovery, how are you meant to do anything? You're just constantly clawing away and fighting my mood as well. Ugh, grumpy. Grumpy, snappy, awful. And things like your nervous system, as we age, we can't just go out and party all night and go on all-nighters and then just work the next day and be absolutely fine. Absolutely not. It's really sad, but as we get older, just our body starts to basically deteriorate a bit. I had to go to the doctor's end of last year because of my dizziness. I've been talking about in my stories this week, my seasonal BPPV. It's basically a thing of vertigo with my inner ears that changes with the seasons. But it took me 9 months to get a proper diagnosis because I spoke to one doctor and they just gave me vertigo tablets, which isn't helpful because that's just like putting a plaster on the issue. I want to find out the root cause, and if you all know me, you know that I don't just settle for, oh, there you go, you just have to take tablets. I'm like, there must be more to this. Anyway, happened again, got another doctor's appointment with a doctor in York instead of where I used to live. Just by luck, I got someone who was actually genuinely interested and wanted to provide me with loads of useful information and explained why I was getting this problem. And I then asked him, I was like, but why now? This only started like last year or something, and a few years ago I developed Raynaud's in my hands, and it's all since I've moved back to the UK. I love the UK and I love living here, but you know, it's the climate sometimes. It's quite damp here compared to other places that I've lived. Even going to a ski resort where it's like -15, it's a dry cold. The UK is like damp cold. And that's what affects my body. The Raynaud's is the damp, the inner ears, like the mucus, is the damp. But I was asking, why now? Why have I not had this all my life then? He said, oh, it's age. I was like, oh, I'm only 38. But he was like, as you get older, your body just starts picking up these things and it just does happen. So the older we get, the more we need to prioritise our sleep, because sleep is where you recover. Sleep is where your body resets. Getting that good quality sleep, the REM sleep, the dream sleep, that's what helps your muscles grow. It's what helps reset your body, helps you feeling good the next day. You know, if you're feeling crap, you're just like, right, I'm off to bed. Oh, go to bed. Everything will be better tomorrow. And it is. If you get a good night's sleep, isn't everything better tomorrow? You need to start prioritising your sleep, girls. Having a good sleep routine. Get to bed, read a book, have a wind down routine. Getting that good quality sleep will make a world of difference on everything. You'll be more motivated to eat well, move, get out and move, do an exercise class, do whatever, and you'll feel better and have more energy. Sleep is your missing superpower that is really underutilised. If I said, right, here's a supplement you can take, it's going to give you more energy, you're going to have less food cravings, you're going to be able to stick to your diet more, so you'll lose weight. Basically, I'm like, here's a supplement, you can lose weight, you'll be able to get out more, you'll have more like fun because you'll feel more confident and your mood will be better. You know, like if you've had a bad night's sleep, don't you feel like self-deprecative and, is that the word? Self-deprecating, and you're putting yourself down and I'm useless, I'm this, oh, I can't be bothered, oh, I hate my life, blah. Yeah. Do you know what the magic solution is? Here, I'll sell it to you, it's £1 million. Here, do you want it? It's sleep and it's free. Go and get it. Your body doesn't transform in the workout, it transforms when you recover from it, and every day you're recovering from it. Whatever's happening that day, go to sleep and you will recover. 7 to 9 hours, they say. 7 to 8 hours, sorry, but I say 9 hours. 8.5, like my magic number, 9 or 10 when I'm on holiday. Intensity over intensity, gosh. When I first got into this, it was all about Joe Wick's hit sessions, and I love Joe Wicks. I have nothing against him. I did have to unfollow him recently because there's a bit of a disconnect now. Like, good for him, he's done really well for himself and he should be pleased with himself, and he's done amazing things to help people. I do think his unfortunate fall into that documentary is what he went a bit wrong with that. Just a bit of a wrong decision to get involved in it. I understand what he's trying to do. It is really important that we do, you know, reduce like high UPFs, but yeah, there's bigger fish to fry and to help people. But anyway, good for him, he's done really well, and if you follow him, I have nothing against him. But I used to always be like, Joe Wick's hit sessions, going to do a session and like burning yourself out. Or did anyone ever do an insanity workout? The clue is in the name, it is insane. And there'd be this like guy who's like ripped and jacked. He was usually black and he was just really fit and just like loads of muscles and just like sweat dripping off him and just like, what's one of like the gladiators? Is it Cobra or something? And they're just like an absolute unit, just like muscle, just stacked. And he'd be like, right, come on! And you'd just be jumping around and sweating, just like, this is mental. This is what gets me fitter. Absolutely not. It does not. No, girls. We used to always be like, I need to do as much as I can possibly do. Go. Eat as little, move as much. No, it doesn't work because you can only do it for a short period of time and it's not realistic and it'll burn you out. You need to create habits that you can stick to consistently over your lifetime. Ooh, that sounds boring. It is. Suck it up. It is boring. It has to become part of your life. It has to just become, it's second nature. I don't get up and think, oh, what am I having for breakfast? I'm just having my oats. That's what I'm having. It's oats. Oats. My lunch is always similar, and my evening meals they go in rotation, but they're similar things. I'll work out certain days, run on a Monday, gym and run on a Tuesday because I run to the gym, so that gets more running in. Run and Stairmaster Wednesday, gym and run on Thursday, rest day Friday, long run at the weekend is what I'm on at the minute. It's 6:30 walk with Una, bed by 9, 9:30 at the latest, up at 6 every day. Does that sound boring? Yeah, it is. It has to become part of your life. The more you struggle and push against it, the worse it is. You just have to tell your mind, you're like, come on, let's go, let's be boring. The more monotonous you can make it, the easier it will be to stick to long term. It just becomes part of who you are, and it's just part of your identity. If you said to me, I have to get up for the next, I don't know, something ridiculous. If you can do it, good for you, but absolutely not. 75 hard. What? Training twice a day. I don't think that's good for everyone anyway, 75 days, because I'm a firm believer in rest days. Absolute rest days. And I mean, my rest days, I walk Una and that is it. That is it. That is all I'm doing. And there's nothing else. A rest day isn't doing a workout. A rest day isn't going for an easy run. No, a rest day is a rest day. You can do some steps, but it's not going for a mad hike. A rest day is just like, the only thing you're allowed to do is a bit of like stretching, a restorative yoga, literally lying on your back and doing some sun salutations. A nice bath, or going for a nice easy walk, chilled. Nothing like where you get your heart rate over like 100 beats per minute sort of around. Okay? Rest. Because we need to have this more calm way of dealing with things. Just like think, calm down. What can I do calm and consistently? Take me for example, right? Last week I ran nearly 32 miles. That's the most I've ever run in a week. I started running properly again about 2 years ago. I did 5k a week. 5k is 3 miles. It's taken me 2 years to get to 32 miles a week. Now you might be a bit quicker than that, you might focus more on it or whatever, but I've been injured, I've done this, and I've slowly built up, and I felt so strong last week. I did 32 miles, had a rest day Sunday, and then went out yesterday and did my second fastest ever 10k. It was the sun's fault. The sun was shining. I got excited like a dog. But what I'm trying to say there is, it's because I've just been consistent for months and months and months and months and months. That is how. It's boring. But make the boring fun. Make it part of your life. Enjoy it. Like I go for the 6:30 walk with Una around the field. I don't have headphones in ever. I don't put music on. It's just me and Una. Martin comes quite a lot as well. But all through winter, it's just Una and I in the dark with our head torches every day, no matter what, no matter the weather, rain, snow, ice, everything, we went. And now I get to appreciate it with the sun up and the bunnies out. And I love it. Just make it part of your life. It's part of your day, part of who you are, part of your identity. Consistency is the unsexy magic that actually works. So you need something you can stick to when life is busy. When life's really busy, you don't want to do that mental workout for an hour, do you? You're like, ugh, why do I want to do that? But whereas if I say all you have to do is 20 minutes of lifting weights and go for an hour walk, or fit in an hour's worth of walking, like 5 minutes every few hours, or get a walking pad, or, make it easy. Girls, stop making it hard. And number 5 is a mindset shift. We need to move away from skinny at all costs. We need to move away from it, girls. Bones breaking, getting ill, being weak, feeling weak and no energy. We need to move back towards strength, energy and confidence. I knew a client who's doing my programme, The Glow Up, that I launched a few weeks ago, beginning of March. And she actually messaged last week without me asking and just said, Helen, I don't know what you've done to me. I'm genuinely walking with my head higher and more confidence. And that's just by going to the gym, eating better food, looking after herself, not snacking on biscuits and sugar and stuff in the afternoon because she's fueling her body with the food she needs, getting a bit leaner, but growing some muscle, getting stronger. Confidence. That's where true confidence is. It's not being in a bikini on the beach, being a size 0. It's being in a bikini on the beach in the size you are now, but having the confidence to do that because you deserve to take up space that you're in. It's about fueling your body with the food that it needs, not the food that you think you want. Or it's also about fueling your body with the food it needs, not restriction. So this is where the Confidently You method comes in, and this is what I do. I help women become more confident in their own skin. So you're not behind, you've just been following the wrong rules. And it's really sad that as a child who grew up in the 90s, this is what we used to see. Heat magazine, do you remember it, girls? And you see it a lot now, people resharing stuff, and it's like, ooh, so-and-so got fat, or this and this. What? What? Why did we care about that? Why did we care about what celebrities doing, or who's put on weight, or who's lost weight? They don't look very well. Oh, they've let themselves go. What? It's got nothing to do with us. Focus on you, and focus on you being the healthiest and happiest you can be, mind and body. Okay, so here's some things that are a load of nonsense. Number one, your metabolism is broken after 35. No, it does slow down, okay? It does. It's like, woo, starts going down, but it's not broken. Your metabolism's not broken. And I do speak to a lot of women who are like, oh, it might be my hormones and metabolism. No. Everything is harder as we get older because we're more tired, we're probably getting less sleep, we've got more dependence on us. It is, we can't just skip a meal and lose some weight like we did in our 20s. You'll be less active as well, you'll be sitting down more, most of you have sedentary jobs. You haven't got as much get up and go, your body is like slowing down. That's why you need more sleep, but you're not getting enough sleep because you stay up scrolling or watching TV because that's the only you time you get. And it's about flipping the narrative and going, actually, my metabolism's not broken, I'm just not doing the right things for my body. And you're probably restricting yourself, then binging. So your body's like, oh, is it famine or feast? I don't know what I'm getting here. And when you binge, you're giving it crap. And when you're restricting, you're not giving it enough. How would you feel if you were your body? So your metabolism can slow slightly, but lifestyle is the main driver, okay? Becoming more sedentary, everything I just discussed there. Muscle loss and less movement is the real issue, okay? If you grow more muscle, girls, you can eat more as well. Amazing. And you look more toned. There's so many benefits to it. It's not broken metabolism, it's just super under-supported. You're just not looking after your body. It's just so confused. Stop it. Start giving it more consistency. Give it some love and care. Number two, you need to eat 1,200 calories to lose weight. So I got a new client recently and she's a small lady. She's a small lady. And she's struggled with 1,200 calories for years. And I was like, I don't want to put you on that. I do not want to put you on that. I'm going to put you on a higher calorie allowance. We're going to start prioritising a few more steps. Spring's here. Excellent excuse to get out moving more. Lighter mornings, lighter nights, better weather. Lovely, lush. Get outside. Right? Get walking, girls. If you take one thing from today. Oh, and lift weights. When she's not on 1,200 calories. I think she's on 1,500, maybe 1,600. She's on 1,600. You need to be still fueling your body. There's a line and it's like working on slightly small tweaks to help you get results. But these apps, like I use MyFitnessPal and I use NutriCheck and I use the different apps, but if you just put in I want to lose a pound a week, or this 2-3 pound, I want to lose a stone in 6 weeks. I had a client a call with a lady recently, she's like, I want to lose a stone in 6 weeks, and I was like, I don't do that, that's like not possible. A pound a week is around the average, and I don't use weight anyway, so a stone would be 14 weeks. Is it 14 pound in a stone? I should know this, but I don't use weight as a metric of success because it's not a good metric of success. If you've not listened to me before, you need to listen back to some of my podcasts because I don't use weight as a metric of success. If you're going to weigh yourself, you have to do your measurements as well. Have to. Get off the sad step. Anyway, let's be reasonable about it. How long did it take you to put on this weight? We need to start making reasonable changes, but also, instead of going on a crash diet and a fad diet, let's make it part of your life so that you enjoy it a bit. Might be hard to start with. 1,200 calories or low restrictive diets leads to a binge restrict cycle. It's unsustainable and it kills your energy and adherence. You're more likely to binge, secret eat. Oh, I just won't track that. Oh, I've done that. Oh, I've gone over. Stop it. Give yourself more calories. The next one is cardio is the best way to lose fat. It's absolutely not. I find if I'm doing loads of cardio, I eat more. So how is that better? Whereas when I lift weights, I'm not extra hungry, but you are burning as many, if not more calories, because as your muscle regrows, it continues burning calories. Whereas when you're doing cardio, it burns calories during, when you lift weights and resistance train, it keeps burning calories after. This is what that means when they say do a HIIT session and you'll burn calories for 48 hours after. Basically, you'll be burning more calories because you'll be building muscle and your body needs energy to build the muscle. Ta-da! So that's how you keep burning calories. Strength training gives you better long-term results, and cardio tends to lead to burnout, hunger and muscle loss, which we don't want. I do lots of cardio, by the way, girls, but I also strength train. You've got to do both. And I eat quite a lot because I do a lot of mileage with my running. If you become a runner, run quite a lot, you need to support that. You need to support your energy expenditure when it comes to your activity level. And that's a whole other podcast I'll need to talk about. Hormones mean you can't lose weight. Now, this is a myth. Hormones influence things, but they don't control everything. You will still be able to lose weight, majority of you. I've met 2 women in my 7 years of coaching, and I've coached hundreds of thousands of women that had significant hormonal imbalances, but you'll know about this. It'll be thyroid or other hormonal problems that you might have. One of them had kidney disease. She was an older lady and she just couldn't lose body fat, okay? 99.99999% of you can. It's not your hormones, it's not the menopause, it's not perimenopause, it's not anything like that. It's just for, even if it's normal periods as well, for 2 weeks of the month you might feel like crap. So then you need to prioritise your sleep. Instead of trying to push yourself harder, go for bigger walks. Have less of a deficit in those times. There's loads of tools and tips that we can use. And it's more about someone as well saying, well, you're doing okay, you're all right, and giving you different measures of success, like measurements, like tracking your energy, like tracking different things, like tracking your confidence, how you feel, instead of just jumping on a scale and going, I've put weight on. Because some of you will have hormonal fluctuations that increase your weight. They don't increase your fat. And as soon as you see that number on the scale go up and you're trying your best, you go, well, I give up. It's not working. It's my hormones. But the problem is you've just not got the right guidance and you're going on the wrong metric of success. Hormones are a factor, and I'll never disagree with that, and I will always support you with that. I'm a woman. I get it. I really get it. My God, I get it. The other week, my mood. Couldn't stop crying. I was absolutely in the bin. It's terrible. But I also get it, but I'll also support you with it. And I'll listen and I'll understand and I'll give you a structure and a solution that will help you. Because there's always help there. There's ways around it, there's different ways. But it's so individual. All of my clients, not one of them has got the same programme or the same advice or the same structure. Similar, but not one has got the same. Not one, because everyone's different. And the last one is you should weigh as little as possible. No, absolutely not. I need to get on the scales. I don't actually know how much I weigh at the minute. I haven't done that for a while. Last time I weighed myself was Christmas when I weighed my suitcase. I have no idea. It shouldn't matter. You should be happy, confident, be able to do things, go out for hikes, walk up the stairs, go out with your friends. Fit for life. Yes, you want to feel confident in your skin, you want to be, your clothes to fit nicely. That is possible as well. 2 things are allowed to align in one. But being as small as possible, as skinny as possible, as weak as possible should not be your goal. And if that has been your goal and that's what has been drilled into your whole life, you're allowed to change your mind. You're allowed to start telling yourself, actually, let's change this. Let's go on a different trajectory of health and wellness. Your lowest weight doesn't mean that it's the happiest. You want to be happiest, strongest and healthiest. All 3. Scale weight alone is a terrible measure of success. I've said that a million times. And for me, oh gosh, when I was my smallest, it was one of my lowest points. I was tiny. I've been like I got into a next size 10 pair of jeans. I won't even get them up my legs now. And they were just tiny. The next ones as well used to be really small. I wasn't well mentally. No. Now I am. I'm strong. I feel I'm the strongest I've ever been. When I went for a run yesterday, I spoke to my good friend Claire after. We always send voice notes each day or text messages of what we've done each day. And I was like, I just feel strong. Like every step feels strong. It's not like a struggle. And I'm 39. It's taken me this long to get there, so it's never too late. So when I used to chase skinny, feel weak, restricted, I was so unhappy. Oh my God, my restrictive diet. I would just say no to everything. Couldn't have this, ban foods, just so many rules around things. Now I've shifted to strength and balance and confidence. My life is so much better, and I hope I can pass on these messages to you to help you feel more confident and stronger. So you don't need to start over, you don't need a more extreme plan, you just need a better one. So whatever you do this next week, 2 weeks, whether you listen to this and go, yeah, whatever, Helen, and then in a month's time you start thinking about it, give your body what it deserves, what it needs, look after yourself. But my messages are always open if you need any help or advice, or comment below and I can give you any feedback or tips. You can also add to my weekly email or message me on Instagram or Facebook or anything, and I'm happy to give any help, advice for the future. But that was this week's episode. I hope you enjoyed it. Plenty of rants from me as per usual. Have a fab week and I'll see you soon.